What is going on, everybody? Alfred Esmond with World Baseball Network here, joined by a special guest, Carlos Jacome from Venezuela. He comes to us from, I believe, Miami right now. Is that right?
Yeah, live
Yeah,
in
he's
Miami.
down in Miami right now. A recent South Florida Bowl commit. I could see the flag peeking in his background up to my right. So good to have you on, Carlos. Glad that you're here with us, and let's just talk some baseball with you.
For sure, Alfred. Thanks for the invite and just excited to do this.
Of course. So, Carlos, before we get into the college side of things, we'll definitely get into that. I want to start with Venezuela. Over at World Baseball Network, the main cream of our crop that we look at in news is the international side of things. So, we definitely want to talk to you about that a little bit. So, let's begin with that. Talk about Venezuela, what the place means to you, what you do there when you're in the country visiting and stuff, and what's baseball like there? I mean, just
Yeah, for
spill the tea for
me,
us on Venezuela.
for me, Venezuela is home. I was born there. I'm born and raised there. I lived 13 years there, and then I moved to the US 7 years ago.
Hmm.
So I went through all sorts of experience over there. Baseball for me, that's where I learned everything I know today. Obviously, it's a different type of baseball from the US. It's more see a lot of more hype. You see a lot more guys stealing bases, running around, going head first, getting dirty. Uh, they teach that when you're young. When you're young, they always like, oh, let's play Latin baseball. It's all about the flash. You go, you see all the shortstops, you see the quick hands.
Hmm.
They're doing tricks, they're hitting home runs and bat flipping everywhere. That's just what baseball is over there. So I learned all of that when I was down there. And for me, it's always home. Sadly, I haven't been back. As you know, Venezuela is not in a good place right now as a country as a whole. But we're hoping for a change and then one day hopefully go back. And I definitely want to go play in the Winter League over there after
Hmm.
my college career is over. So that's one of my goals.
Absolutely. Yeah. And actually, I'll just dive right into that. Winter League is something that pops to mind. Is there any other international sort of event in baseball you would like to represent them for? I know maybe this is a while, but maybe the World Baseball Classic, is something that you have in mind, Premier 12, something along those lines. What are you thinking?
Yeah. That's definitely a goal. I would love to represent my country in the World Baseball Classic, but I like to take it one step at a time. So I know first right now I'm in college, then hopefully the draft. I'm draft eligible this year, so hoping for that. But that I'll worry about that when it comes. Right now it's all about winning, all about USF baseball, but definitely representing my country is one of my goals. That's on my bucket list. But I understand that that comes with a little hierarchy. You gotta be in the big leagues for a couple of years. So I'll settle for playing for my favorite team back home. So for now.
Oh yeah. Do you know any do you and any guys from Venezuela like talk to each other at the college level? Like are you friends with any of them? What do you guys talk about if you are?
Yeah, for sure. Here in the USF, we don't have any. We have a couple kids from Puerto Rico,
Hmm.
so we kind of bond together because of the Spanish. But back at Miami Dade, I had a few, and we just kind of help each other out because we kind of know the same type of baseball. So we just kind of help each other out, try to figure stuff out because coaches here are definitely different from over there, and they're looking for a different type of stuff from every type of player. So we definitely just talk to each other and have a good we kind of have a good relationship because we understand each other, we know what we're thinking, and then we're also trying to figure out what the coach wants.
Yeah, for sure. And then my final Venezuela sort of thing, I ask every player, no matter where they're from, this question: what kind of players from Venezuela do you like watching in the bigs in general? Name me a few guys you like.
I mean, I grew up watching Omar Vizquel because I'm a middle infielder, so that's I love watching that guy. Um, Someone I idolized when I was back home because, baseball's such a big thing over there. I remember watching, my favorite team is Caracas or Leones de Caracas. That's my favorite team. So I remember watching the rivalry and I just really like this player. He never did anything in the big leagues that was impressive, but for me, he was one of them. Back home is Gregorio Petit. He had a couple stints with the Yankees. I think he played for the Angels. He was never super impressive in the big leagues, but I just there was just something about him when he went back home in the Winter League and did something special. Obviously, Miguel
Mhm.
Cabrera, that's
Oh
one of
yeah.
the best hitters in my opinion. You have now more recent Acuna. I mean, the one I hold that's my favorite one is Altuve. just because I mean he's 5'6" and he's doing stuff that they told him he shouldn't they it shouldn't be done at 5'6". So for me, that's just someone I like to follow and kind of follow his footsteps.
Yeah. And then let's move into college now. So obviously, your freshman year, you spent some time at Miami Dade. I like, sort of getting into that JUCO level of college baseball. To me, I'm the guy who does college baseball for the website. To me, JUCO, I have met a few players who have talked about that, and they're like, "Oh, it's helped me so much. I'm so glad I did it." Is that the same feeling for you? Talk about your time there and how it helped your game.
Yeah, definitely. Out of high school, I was going to another D1, was committed to Stetson. But then I kind of saw what was going on in college baseball nowadays with the transfer portal, guys being older. And I'm a firm believer that once you get to a certain level, you got to play to get better.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter how good the development at a program is. If you go and you're just going to sit for a year, you're not going to face pitching. It's not going to help you. So, and then kind of for the guys that want to play pro ball like myself, we're kind of against a running clock in college. So if you're not performing every year, by the time it's your draft year, then they're not going to take you and then the money goes down.
Mhm.
But it's definitely something that JUCO something that helped me a lot because I won JUCO. And Florida JUCO is something, it's one of the best JUCO leagues in the country.
Oh yeah.
We were facing draft picks almost every weekend. We were facing Power Five commits every weekend. I remember facing Brandon Clark, who got drafted by the Red Sox in the fifth round this past draft.
Yeah.
He was 98, 100 from the left side. So it really helped me up my game a lot and kind of be ready for the D1 baseball because everyone kind of brings down JUCO because you don't have all the privileges. You don't travel fancy. You don't travel in planes. You don't have all the gear. You don't get gloves. But then again, JUCO is just you put your head down, you grind, you get better, and then towards the end of the year, once you start facing other guys, you see the difference, big difference of when you're playing and when you're not playing.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, look at you now. Now you're, heading to South Florida, a program that for me has drawn a lot of interest. And I feel like a lot of people who follow college baseball should take interest a little bit in it. Talk about why South Florida out of all the schools. Why did you choose to go there? And actually, well, first of all, congratulations. I should say that first. But talk about why you chose South Florida as opposed to other places to commit to.
Yeah, of course. I was getting a few offers out of JUCO my freshman year because usually a lot of kids do 2 years and then transfer. I only did 1 year in Miami-Dade.
Mhm.
Uh, South Florida had a coaching change recently. So I was getting recruited by the old coaching staff at first. And then when all the coaching change happened and stuff, I thought that I wasn't going to get recruited by South Florida anymore. But then the new head coach, Mitch Hannes, gave me a call and he said like, "Hey, we still have a spot for you if you want to come and battle out. It's going to be a lot of kids in the fall because I'm new. I'm a new head coach. So if you want to come, prove yourself, you have a spot." And then if you look at Mitch Hannes' track record, he's had Indiana State ranked 15 in the country for the last, what, 5, 6 years. He's a guy that knows how to win. He's a guy that knows what it takes to get to a regional or super regional. And then for me, individual goals, yeah, those are important, but it's all about winning. Last year was also I went through a coaching change at Miami-Dade, and it was kind of tough period adjusting to a new coach, the stuff he wanted. And it was the first time that I was on a team that had a losing record. And I can't tell you how much I hated just going out there and losing most of the games. So I wanted to go to a place that had a culture of winning, South Florida, even though this last few years didn't have as much success, they've been a good program. They have a couple big leaguers. They made a super regional back in 21, and now we got Mitch Hannes, who's a coach that knows how to win. I just thought I was drawn to this place. And then the other options was just me being from Venezuela. I don't really like the cold,
Mhm.
so I kind of wanted to stay in Florida. Couldn't go up north and just freeze. Right now it's around 45 to 55 degrees in Tampa, and I'm freezing.
Right. Yeah, I was about to say, I probably would not want to go to North if I were you too. I'd probably want to stay in sunny Florida and whatnot. You stole my thunder with like everything you just said. I was going to get into Coach Hannah's because that's why this program is piquing my interest. It's because this is a guy who Indiana State has been a very good baseball team recently with him there. And now that he's at South Florida, like you said, super regional not too long ago. he's trying to get them back to that sort of culture, that winning culture that they know that everyone knows that they can have, and you can be a part of that. So it's got to feel special to be a part of that. And I'm sure, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Everything you said has made you want to be a part of it. So that's great. What's any final thoughts for us about South Florida, baseball, your career, anything we should look forward to with you heading going forward?
I just think that you guys should pay attention to South Florida Bulls this year because
Mhm.
we actually have a really good uh, coaching staff, really good pitching staff. We're gonna make some noise, and even though everyone, because of the last few years, which South Florida hasn't been that good, everyone's putting us kind of to the side. I think with Mitch Hannah's now that culture that he brings, we've been grinding all fall. It was a tough fall. It's probably one of the toughest fall I've gone through. But I think now we're getting to the point where we're gonna be ready and just start making some noise during the season.
Of course, yeah. Well, Carlos, thank you for joining us so much. This was an awesome conversation. It's always good to get, some hidden college talent on here. If you want to come back on, please let us know. And besides that, good luck to you and your baseball season this year. And go Bulls, baby.
Of course, thank you so much for the opportunity, and of course, go Bulls.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, this is Alfred Esmond with World Baseball Network. See you next time.